Poultry farming. Whether you consider it a business, side hustle, or a hobby, in this video you would learn 5 easy ways that can enable you to know whether or not your chickens are healthy. 3 of which will require observations and the other 2 measurements. The first sign to tell whether your birds are healthy or not is observable activity. Each time you walk into a poultry house or barn with a healthy flock, there is always a 60 to 80% activity within the barn. Most of the birds drinking, feeding, resting. However, this changes during hot weather conditions, especially if the environmental conditions within the poultry house is not controlled to temperatures that are preferred or favorable to the birds, in which case most of your chickens will be resting. In environmental conditions where the temperatures are suitable and there is a current flow of air, the birds will be exercising their wings, moving from cold areas downwards and upstream. In hot environmental conditions, the reason for a reduction in the activity of birds is usually due to heat stress. The second important means to know whether or not your broilers are healthy is weight gain. And this factor is very important because it has a direct impact on the performance of your birds. However, it is a measurable factor. So, broilers have a daily chart that can be used to monitor their weight gain. Broilers that are healthy will continue to hit their daily weight gain targets. However, it is also very important to understand that daily weight gains are not fixed, but they increase as your broilers get older. Number 3, feed intake. Just like daily weight gain, feed intake is also a very important factor, in that the daily feed consumption tells you whether or not your birds are progressing or regressing. It is not only important in that, but also in the fact that it gives you a picture of whether or not your birds are making good use of the feed that they are consuming through feed conversion ratios. By calculating the feed conversion ratio, you can be able to tell whether or not your birds are metabolizing the feed that they are consuming effectively. And also, just like body weight gain, the feed intake should increase and not decrease as your birds get older. It is very important to note that number 2, which is weight gain, and number 3, feed intake, are very important in business, because the weight gain and the feed intake cumulatively calculated gives us the feed conversion ratio, which is very essential for poultry businesses. The 4th way to tell whether or not your birds are healthy is the composition of their poop. Poop composition. As already differentiated in one of my videos, normal and abnormal poops, it is very important that you pay close attention to the composition of the poop that your chickens produce. This is very essential in that healthy birds will produce healthy poops, and unhealthy birds will produce poops that look sicky, diarrhea, or have pathogenic infections, or have bile salts in them, and these signs are generally absent in 95% of healthy flocks. Last but not the least, dust baths. This is more of an exercise that is done by healthy chickens at all stages, from when they are chicks until when they are 6 weeks old. If they have the right environmental conditions, they are comfortable, the floor is in a good state, they do have their dust baths play because it's a natural behavior for chickens. And if they are healthy, they are going to exhibit this natural characteristic of theirs all through their growth cycle. Sicky birds are always stuck on a particular spot. They rest more often, they don't play, visit the water and the feed lines less often, and do not have enough energy for dust baths.